it's India decides, and what an exciting final day to this 5-week electoral drama that's been taking place. 254 for the BJP, 65 for the Indian National Congress. That's the tally. The markets responding with irrational exuberance, if we can call it that. S. Narayan, former Revenue Secretary, joining us on the show now. Mr. Narayan, good morning. What a day it's been so far. A decisive victory for the BJP NDA. What does it really mean in terms of the economic landscape going forward? A decisive BJP victory.
No, I am absolutely thrilled and happy that this has happened. And the economic landscape you can see is already unfolding. You can see that the Sensex is responding, and that shows that the investor sentiment is improving. And this is what the whole world has been expecting, that the investor sentiment should improve. You can see the rupee is becoming stronger, which is excellent. So I think the investor sentiment is happening already, and we should see, and the range of victory across the whole country clearly indicates that people want growth and development, and growth and development is what the BJP has been promising. And so therefore I do see that even in a very short time you will see the economic revival happening, and I do look forward to the good news in the future.
Mr. Narayan, we do have Swami Bibek Debra and Sanjeev Aga with us here in the studio. Swami, I want to come to you. The kind of reaction that we've seen in the market, like Manvi said, is this irrational exuberance? Because at the end of the day, like we've been speaking for weeks now, Narendra Modi doesn't quite have a magic wand, or does he?
Nobody has a magic wand. A large number of investment banks, if you see their projections, they say that is the projection regardless of the election result, because the ability of somebody to turn the thing around in 9 months is limited. The biggest thing he can do is not measure A, measure B or measure C. Can you lift animal spirits? Can you change the mood? If suddenly consumers begin to consume, investors begin to invest, and bureaucrats begin to pass files, that is not legislation. That is not policy. It merely means a system which had sort of sluggishly gone into torpor is suddenly released. If that happens, how much more will, I would still say you would be very lucky to cross 6.5 in the current year. Beyond that, we will have to see. I think Modi definitely will have some tailwinds. There is a global economy which is recovering. There are 600,000 crores worth of projects cleared, and nothing has happened so far. I mean, some of those will surely begin to happen. So there are some tailwinds over and above. And if with the tailwinds plus animal spirits, he can change the atmosphere from 4.5, I think you could go up to 5.5 to 6. Beyond that, let us see how the policy the policy changes are.
Professor Debra, do you agree? You know, there's room to go up to 5.5, maybe even a 6% growth, but really beyond that, it's up in the air.
I think one needs to remember that there's a timeline to this.
Yes.
If one is talking about this financial year, I would still say 5.5. I would not say 6, I would say 5.5. In terms of what this government is likely to do, I think there are two key elements to it. One of these is a bunch of things that are linked around fixing administration. This means PMO, this means cabinet, this means bureaucracy. It also means streamlining decision-making processes connected with land acquisition, forest clearance and environmental clearance. I'm not talking about changes in legislation, I'm talking about streamlining those. This also means that investments that are stuck in the pipeline get unclogged. This is the kind of thing that the CCI was supposed to do. It never got around to doing that. This thing will happen immediately. The second bit that will happen, but that's a process, is in terms of talking to the states. That's important not only for the tax reforms, it's important for various other things. And then you have the rest of the stuff, which I think will only happen in next financial year, because there is a lot of preparatory work that needs to be done.
But you know, even talking to the states, I mean, Mr. Aga, easier said than done. And from what you know of Narendra Modi's style of interaction and communication, is that achievable?
You know, I have a slightly different take. I agree with what my fellow panelists are saying, but I just want to add something. On the one hand, you contrasts the executive incompetence of the top three of the UPA. It could not get worse. Whether you have Dr. Manmohan Singh or Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi, they were absolutely innocent about how large organizations like a country are run. And on the other hand, whatever may be his other deficiencies, this is what Narendra Modi is best at, how to wield power effectively to get results, to get outcomes. Now that's number one. Now let me just give you one or two small examples. Forget what you can't do. Take railways. If you bring in structural reforms in railways, railways is a gold mine. Railways alone can lift within a couple of years Indian GDP by 1%. And if you couple this with certain other infrastructure, healthcare, where there is no legislation, tourism, and I'm not talking so much of land acquisition, which you may have to actually hack through, but there are these low-hanging fruits. And I would be surprised if a person as astute as Narendra Modi hasn't already chalked out his plans. So you will find GDP will be propelled not in the first year, but from unsuspected sources, because let's get out of this mindset of GST and FDI in retail. There are many, many other opportunity areas.
Sure.